Welcome back, students, to the next session of Chief Seattle's speech. We were on page 43, the second paragraph, in which we were discussing the gods of native and the god of colonizers. If we have a commonly heavenly father, he must be partial. Now Chief Seattle continues and he says that if we have a common heavenly father, you say there is one God, then he must be partial, for he came to his pale-faced children. We never saw him. That is, though he came to the pale-faced children, but we have never seen him. He gave you laws, but no word for his red children, whose teeming multitudes once filled this vast continent as stars fill the firmament. So he says there is no word for his children who are natives, who are red Indians, and who are large in number. And once they filled this continent as stars fill the sky. Now we are two distinct races with separate origins and separate destinies. There is little in common between us. He says we are two distinct races. We have different origins, we have different traditions and culture. We have separate identities, and there's little in common between us. He continues, to us the ashes of our ancestors are sacred and the resting place is hallowed ground. He speaks that to us the ashes where our ancestors are buried, that place is sacred and it's a resting place which is holy, which is pious for us. You wander far from the graves of your ancestors and seemingly without regret. That is, you leave your ancestors where you bury them and then you move apart from there. And you don't seem to regret doing that. But unfortunately, we are attached to our ancestors and we want to stay close to their graves. Your religion was written upon tablets of stone by iron fingers. Your religion was written upon tablets of stone by iron finger of your God, so that you could not forget. Now he continues and he speaks that the ancestors which are no more there, and you have buried them. You move away from there and you are not associated with them, whereas the native Indians are associated with them. He continues by saying that your religion was written upon the iron fingers. Now here, iron finger is a reference, biblical reference to finger of God, which refers to the words written onto the stone tablet that later were brought down from Mount Sinai by Moses. The tablets were known as commandments, and in literal sense it means immortal fingers. So the laws and the rules were mentioned in those tablets, and it was written so that you should not forget about it. The red man could never comprehend or remember it. The red man who exists and who has a separate tradition cannot understand or even remember it. Our religion is the traditions of our ancestors. He says our religion is a custom of belief of our ancestors, what has been passed on to us through generations. The dreams of our old men, given them in solemn hours of night by the Great Spirit, and the visions of Sesame. The chief of Sesame here stands for the chief of American Indian people, and is written in the heart of our people. Now he says that the dreams of our old men, given to them in solemn hours, that is whatever they would follow and were given to them in the time of meditation or in the hours of solemn hours when they would sit with the youngsters and pass on those traditions at night by the Great Spirit, and the visions of Sikhism, that is the chief of the American Indian people, is written in the heart of our people. We do not have any written laws, but whatever we carry, it's in our heart. Your dead cease to love you and the land of their nativity as soon as they pass the portals of the tomb and wander away beyond the stars. Now he continues that your dead, that is the people, those who have died, the ancestors, you seem to stop loving them, the land of nativity, portals of the tomb and wander away beyond the stars. That is your ancestors, that is the ancestors of the European. You guys, he goes on to speak that you people, you cease to love your ancestors after their death. You don't remember them. You don't come back to their tombs, and you don't live nearby. You move away from them. But the Native Americans, they never forget the world that gave them their being and identity. That is, they don't forget from where they have come, their traditions, their values, and their belief. They are soon forgotten and never return. That is, the Europeans, they forget their ancestors, and even they do not reside in their memories. But on contrary, our dead never forget this beautiful world that gave them being. They still love its verdant valleys, its murmuring rivers, its magnificent mountains, squatted vales, and verdant linked lakes and bays, and ever earn in tender fond affection over the lonely-hearted living, and often return from the happy hunting ground to visit, guide, console, and comfort them. Now he compares the scenario of the ancestors, those who have died, and those who belong to the Red Indians, that they don't forget this beautiful world which has given them everything. They love the valley in which they grew, its murmuring rivers, its magnificent mountains from which they learned and they have their beliefs and traditions. The sequestered vales and verdant linked lakes, that is, the lakes which are around, and bays, and ever earn in tender, fond affection over the lonely-hearted living. That is, they earn to get back to the lonely people who are here, and they come back to this hunting ground, and they visit and guide and console and comfort their people. Day and night cannot dwell together. Now he speaks, it's so obvious that day and night cannot be together. The red man has ever fled the approach of white man as the morning mist flees from the morning sun. So he says in the similar way, the red man has ever fled the approach of white men. That is, as white men are encroaching, the red man's identity is getting diminished. As the morning mist flees before the morning sun, just as the morning mist disappears when the sun is high up in the sky. However, your proposition seems fair, that is, your proposal seems quite fair, and I think that my people will accept it and will retire to the reservations you offer them. That is, my people will accept it and will retire, will take it with all the reservations you offer them, because it seems to be genuine. Then we will dwell apart in peace, for the words of the great white chief seem to be the words of nature speaking to my people out of the dense darkness. Then he says, then we will dwell apart in peace. That is, then we can live apart in peace, for the words of great white chief, that's the higher authority, seem to be the words of nature speaking to my people out of dense darkness. It matters little where we pass the remnant of our days. They will not be many. The Indian's night promises to be dark. Not a single star of hope hovers above his horizon. He says that it matters little where we pass the faithful people of our God, and they will not be many. That is, there will not be many people. The Indians' night promised to be dark. That the Red Indians' night, because there is dullness now back into the surrounding, it's going to be dark for them, and there is a new hope and prospect when they join hands with the Europeans or the white colored. Not a single star of hope hovers above his horizon. Sad voiced winds moan in the distance. He says not a single ray of hope. There's no hope hanging in the air above the horizon. There are sad voices around which lament in the distance. There are serious fate seems to be on the red man's trail. That is, on the red man's life, it seems to be a serious fate. And wherever he will hear the approaching footsteps of his fell destroyer and prepare stolidly to meet his doom, as does the wounded do that hears the approaching footstep of a hunter. Now he says that the situation of the Red Indian is something similar to a wounded doe, and that is being hunted down. In a few more years, their race will disappear, their identity will merge with the whites, and white settlers too will have their decay, which, though it's not near, it's distant, but something would await for them too. However, sharing a common destiny will help both the races. With this, we come end to this session. We'll continue with the last session in the next class. Till then, stay home, stay safe. All the best. Thank you.